Welcome to It's Your Turn Livestream. I'm Bryn and Marco, man behind the cam. This week we're going to be playing one of my very favorites, A Feast for Odin by Uwe Rosenberg. So the Uwe Rosenberg game, we're going to be focused on... Sorry, I'm confused what I'm doing here because we're doing something different. I thought actually Marco was going to be following me around over this side. All right, great. So we're going to go over to the board and teach you this game. Let me put this back away. Great. So where's my camera at? All right, so we don't have a camera on me. Great, okay. So Feast for Odin's a pretty massive game. And to be able to teach it, we're going to have to go through it in multiple stages here. But primarily what we're doing in Feast for Odin, and this is the part where I show you, if you've got a camera, cool. All right, give us just 1 second to get set up. As you know, as we talked about last week, we're still experimenting with our format to make sure that we can bring you the best coverage yet. Obviously, this isn't our best moment here. But we do have fun, and we hope you enjoy it too. All right, so in Feast for Odin, as with most Uwe Rosenberg games, the purpose is to accumulate points. And you're going to accumulate points, or silver in this game. Money is silver, silver is points, through a few mechanics. One, by filling your game board with tiles. So in the game, you'll be collecting tiles, putting them onto the spaces in your game board. As with most Uwe Rosenberg games, there's negative points all over your game board. If you've played any of these other games, you understand this, right? By covering these up, you don't get negative points, which, you know, is a way to score points. But not only will you be covering up your main board, you'll also be getting points through expansion boards. You'll be sailing to different islands and covering up spaces on these islands as well for points. And you'll be getting sheds and houses, which is another way to get points as well in the game. So the primary way we're going to do this is through a tile laying mechanism that I'm about to show you right now. So we're going to cut over here to my sample game board here. I'm going to show you what we've got. Okay, so in our sample game board, you can see that we've got a place for breeding our animals, we got a place for workers, and we have a place for feeding our workers. Very typical of a Rosenberg game. But first, I'm going to focus you right here on this area. So since money in this game is points, the primary way you get money in the game is through income. This is your income track. In order to accumulate income, you're going to have to cover up the tiles that show how much income you get. Whatever the lowest number tile is that's showing, lowest number space, is how much income you get at the end of the 7 rounds for the game. You see there's 7 rounds in the game. So right now we'd be getting 0 income, but if we were to cover this up, for instance, one of these tiles here, and reveal this 2, we'd be getting 2 income per turn. And so you can see how you build out. So there's rules for how to place tiles, but essentially you're going to be taking time, placing tiles on spaces, placing this is ore on spaces, and even placing your silver on spaces to create cool patterns. So not only are you revealing your income and getting more and more money, but as you surround these bonus spaces, you'll also begin to gain those items as income every turn. In this case, we just completely surrounded a mead, which means we'll be getting one of these. This is how we eat, or one of the ways we eat every turn. If I were to completely surround this guy here, I'd be getting wood, or a runestone, which is another version of the mead, which is a little better. You can place it on your board, or stone as well, as we build out. A couple rules though on your main board, and they're all printed right here, and it's very hard to see. But this little guide here shows you what you're allowed to use. So you can use blue tiles, green tiles, or silver to be able to put on your board. The one restriction is you can't have 2 green tiles adjacent to each other. They can be in a corner, but they can't be adjacent. Let's talk about covering the income track, since this is the most challenging thing in the game, in my opinion, is how do we handle income. You were only allowed to cover one of the spaces that says income. Like I couldn't just do this and be like, oh, I'm getting 4 income. In order to cover a single space for income, you have to be able to cover every spot below it and every spot to its left. I hope I did that right because I'm doing this upside down. Okay, every spot below and every spot to its left. So if I wanted to cover up this 2, I would need to be able to place enough tiles basically to cover that. This isn't legal because I can't put 2 greens together, but you get the idea, that I have to cover up basically its square. And that goes for pretty much anything in the board. For instance, Iceland is one of the expansion boards. Iceland has its own income track that you would gain in addition to your income track here. And Iceland also, in order to cover up, say, this 3, I would have to cover up everything below it and everything to the left. Spaces that have a bonus on it are already considered to be covered for this purpose. Great. So in addition to covering our game board, we're also going to use covering our game board spaces to gain bonuses and gain income. We also have to feed our people. I mean, this is a Rosenberg game after all. So every turn in the game, a new person is going to become available for us to feed. Okay, a new person that we're going to be able to take actions with. But at the end of every round, we've got to feed those people. To feed them, you're going to use vegetables, which are the orange tiles, and meat, which are the red. Now the rule is you can't put 2 vegetables together. That's illegal. You can, however, separate them and use, for instance, silver to feed people. You can also alternate, for instance, you can alternate meat, which is the red tiles. So you basically feed them, and it's all written right there. You can't use ore. It says you can't use ore. You use vegetables and meat and money to feed your people. The rules are, again, you can't match 2 colors next to each other. And if you ever use 2 of the same type of resource, for instance, like in this situation, the second time you use it, it has to be turned 90 degrees. So for instance, that's a legal play as well, as far as how you can feed your people. So interesting about 90 degrees is there are some foods that are squares. So if they turn 90 degrees, no big deal. You can feed as many square foods as you want. And the tiles have all diversity of shapes and sizes, and we'll get into those as we play the game. Also in the game, there's a breeding mechanic. So if you have 2 of the same kind of animal in this pen, and two cattle or 2 sheep, they'll do some process of breeding, which we'll go over during the game at the end of each round in order to gain more sheep and more cattle. They're both worth points into the game, but they also have some really cool effects they do as well. So now that we've seen like how tiles generally work, and we've seen how feeding people works, let's figure out how we actually get tiles, and that takes us to the worker placement element of the game. So we're going to focus right now on the main game board. Now, as with most Rosenberg games, this is a expansive game board with lots and lots and lots and lots of actions, but they're fairly easy to understand. There are certain concepts that are in play here that I'm going to go over. As far as all this other stuff that's around it, that will all play into what we do here on the game board. So first of all, understand that every set of actions is set up into columns. Each column has a number of workers or Vikings printed above it, right? See the columns? So if I were to take an action in this column, it would cost me exactly 1 Viking. So for instance, if I wanted to pick up this juicy red fish to eat, I would put 1 worker right there and I would take the fish. As with most worker placement games, once I've taken this action, it's blocked for anybody else for the rest of the round until we've all placed our workers. If I wanted to take anything on this row, I'd have to use, for instance, 2 guys, and anything I wanted to take in this row, I'd have to use 3, and then finally for the final row, I'd have to use 4 people. Now there are 2 bonuses in the game that come from playing on 3s and 4s. As with most Rosenberg games, there are occupations in the game. Whenever I play any action that takes 3 of my workers, I get to draw an occupation, like this one, which I'll show in detail later, which goes into my hand. And if I ever do anything that requires 4 workers, I get to play an occupation from my hand. As with most Rosenberg games, the occupation doesn't cost anything to play, but I gain victory points for playing it and some sort of cool benefit to my game. So let's talk, now that we've talked about generally how the workers go down on the table, let's talk about what the actions that you can take are, and that will lead us to the conclusion of our teaching. So at the top, you'll notice certain iconography. If there's ever an arrow, it means you turn in this resource to gain that resource. In this case, on top, it says build houses. So everything in this row has to do with turning in wood or stone to gain these houses. Whenever I gain one of these, they're worth points, and they're worth negative points unless I cover them up, and they have their own bonuses associated with them. Also, I can turn in wood to gain ships. There's 3 kinds of ships. Here there's whaling ships, there's merchant ships, and there's attack ships. They all have actual very cool Norse-sounding names, and I don't know what they are. But you can either acquire them either by paying wood for them, or you can spend their points in silver to buy them. So I could, as a free action, spend, say, 3 silver and pick up a whaling ship to add to my board. And when I get back to my board, you'll see there are specific spots for your ships. Okay, so that's ships. Over here on the 4th action, I can turn in resources to gain some combination of ships and sheds and houses. Let's skip down here to the livestock market. I'll come back to the hunting in a moment. This is pretty cool. Oh, did I mention? This is a Rosenberg game with dice. Ooh, those don't usually exist. Marco's gonna hate this. All right, so he hates dice games. Okay, all right, but in the livestock market, we're gonna do something where we either pay money or we always use workers pay money to gain something. In this case, I can spend 1 coin. That's what that little symbol means, where you're handing over a bag of money to gain 2 fish, 1 coin for a sheep, and you see how it works. 3 coins to get both a sheep and a cattle. In the weekly market, we can just pick up resources. In this one, for instance, I could pick up it looks like beans, which is this tile here, and a coin, which is good for feeding your people. Okay, and you see that each of these has their own thing. Now, this is the products market. If I have cattle or if I have sheep, it says how much of these resources I get. So I can get some red milk, which I can eat, or I can get some wool, which I can put on use for tile placement on my board. Next is crafting. It's usually where we turn something into something else. So in each case, it shows you what you need to have in your possession. You discard it, and you gain a thing over here. Now, there's a special part of this right here, and that has to do with this third action. You can spend an ore and actually craft an item from this board. If you can see this board, these are called the special tile board, and each of them in this area have a little icon that matches this forge icon. It says you can spend exactly 1 ore to forge any item that's forgeable. Now, there's a misprint in the game, and there's actually an additional forgeable item right here, the cross. But once you're able to forge it, you take it and you put it into your tableau in space. You put it into your tableau area. Now, something about getting tiles in the game I didn't explain already. Whenever you take a tile, you're not required to place it on your game board. You actually only need to place it whenever you want to. But once you've placed it on your game board, to cover spaces, it's permanently placed. So understand that you can save these as long as you want until you're ready to place them. Okay, let's go back to the main game board and go to the next thing. So this is mountains and trade. This is the primary way we gain resources. When you see this little looks like a mountain tile, they're referring to these mountain tiles here. So this says I can take 2 resources from any one mountain tile. So in this case, we always take from, there's an arrow, we always take from the left. So gaining 2 resources on this tile would gain me these 2. Okay, and leave the rest to be taken by other players. If another player came and took an action that's similar to that and took 2 more, they would take these 2 until the tiles eventually are removed. Now, every turn a new tile is going to come out, but once these resources are gone, they're gone. This is the primary way resources come into the game. So that's how these, for instance, I'll show you another thing. In this case, you would take 3 resources from one tile and 2 resources from another. So in this case, I might take these 3 and these 2 to represent that. And this is 4 from 1. Now let's get into trading. So you'll see these things with what looks like a little grid pattern or a gray grid pattern, a number, and an arrow. This is trading. This is when you trade up a resource for another resource. In the case of a 1, you can trade 1 resource up for a better version of itself. And this is going to require me to show you how this works. So I'm actually going to go, actually the detail cam probably is more helpful for this. So you're going to see me set out a few tiles here. And I hope you can see them. In fact, I'll place them in the blue so they're a little easier to see. Okay. So here's how trading works. Whenever you take a trading action, you can turn a tile of a specific shape into a better version of that tile. And the tiles actually progress in this direction. So vegetables trade up into meat. Meat trades up into goods, and goods trade up into luxuries. So essentially, if I took the action that says I can take 1 good and upgrade and basically trade it up 1 time, and I owned these peas, I could get rid of the peas and replace it with a mead. If I took that same action and had a mead, I could replace that mead with a barrel, and then eventually replace the barrel with a runestone. And they don't go any higher than blue. So you see, there's a process to this that allows you to upgrade your components, and that's going to be an important part of the game. In fact, it's so commonly referred to as upgrade that you'll hear us probably say, "Oh, I get to upgrade 1 item. I get to upgrade 2 items. I get to upgrade 3 items." It's really you're actually trading in the game. Now, in a few special spaces, you'll see 2 arrows. That means I can take 2 items and actually upgrade them or trade them up twice. That would turn an orange into a green or a blue, or a red, into a blue. So that's how those work. And that takes us over to this part of trading as well. So this is called overseas trading, and it's pretty cool. You actually pay a coin, and as long as you have a merchant vessel, remember we have the merchant vessels here, you can trade any number of different green-shaped tiles into a blue. You get basically one upgrade. So this is a way to do massive upgrades. In fact, I plan to play a game that's going to use this strategy so you'll be able to see it in detail. If I have a NAR also, I can actually spend money and buy items from this gray board. This says I can buy up to 2 items for coins. So every single one of these items, every one of these gray items has a cost on it, with the exception of the English crown, which is only obtainable through military. But you'll see this costs 3 coins, 5 coins, 2 coins, 2 coins. They all have a price printed on them. This action here, as long as I have a trading vessel, a NAR, allows me to pick up 2 of them and pay money for 2 of them. look at some of the things you can use ships for. If I want to be able to obtain a new island, I have to have a ship to get there. So to obtain Shetland or Faroe, which are here or here, I need any type of ship. As you can see, all three ships are present. If I want to go to Iceland, Greenland, or Bear Island, in this case, Iceland I picked up, let me put it back. Iceland, Greenland, or Bear Island is actually the opposite side of Shetland, which we'll get to that in a moment. Then I need either a Nar or a galley, and if I want to go to the best islands, I have to have a galley, or the attack ship. Now, what the expansion added to the game were 2 additional islands. In the original game, there were only 4 that were double-sided. The problem with that, if you've played the game enough, is you realize islands are extremely valuable. They're called expansion boards, but basically they're islands. And what would end up happening is one of the 4 players playing would often get 2 islands, shutting out another player. And what that would end up doing is the player who got 2 islands would, I don't want to say would usually win, but would have a very good chance of winning. But the guy who got no island, unless he could adapt his strategy very, very quickly, would usually lose the game. So adding 2 islands to the game is an excellent expansion, and I've never played with them before, but just understand that all they didn't change the rules of the game, they just added new islands that you can obtain through this sailing mechanism right here. In fact, the action used to get Shetland and Faroe allows you to take Lofoten, and the action that lets you take Baffin, Labrador, or Newfoundland allows you to take Tierra del Fuego. So, exciting. All right, so there's the actions, there's the ships there. There's one more use of ships before we get to die rolling, and that's immigrations. And to show you how these work, I'm going to go back to our game board. So each ship that you have in the game has a slot that they can go into, okay? In fact, let me show you one more ship, the whaling ship, okay? So the whaling ship, for instance, is shaped a little thicker than the other ones, and the other 2 ships are the same size and shape, and you have 4 slots for those. You'll notice they're worth victory points, which are represented here at the end of the game. But if you use an immigration action, which is on the game board, you can flip the ship over to its immigration side, worth a lot more points, and put it into your feeding row. This allows you, and they always go from left to right, this allows you to have these people permanently fed. So when I'm feeding the rest of my people, I'm only using basically whatever people are not currently covered. So during the game, as the game goes along, you can immigrate more and more ships. You have to own the ship, and then you have to take the immigration action to turn it upside down up here to gain the victory points, and it makes it cheaper to feed people. So the cost to be able to do this is based on the number of rounds. So if you're in round 1, it only costs 1 silver to immigrate a ship. But if you're in round 7, it costs 7 silver to immigrate a ship. And that's how immigrations work in general. Okay, that brings us to the coolest part of the game, as far as I'm concerned, one of the most exciting parts of the game, and that's how we use the dice. So let's talk about ships one more time. You'll notice there's a spot here for raiding, pillaging, and plundering. Now, each of these raiding, pillaging, and pillaging actually has printed on it a die, a D8 orange, or a D12 that's blue. What you're going to use is you're going to use one of your attack ships. In this case, you can use an attack ship. In this case, it says exactly 1 attack ship to use those. You're going to roll the die, and you're going to go for the highest number you can. So in this case, I rolled a 7. Now I can use modifiers to modify this 7, and there's 2 ways you can modify your die roll. One is to use the resource printed here, in this case stone, and that can be used to add a number to this die for the purpose of raiding or pillaging. The other thing I can do is I can use my weapons. Now weapons we haven't gone over yet, but every player in the game starts with a couple weapons. But in this particular case, the more swords you have, the more die mitigation you have. Weapons are only used for dice mitigation. That's all they're used for. So for random mitigation. So you roll your die, you add your number of swords you want to add to it and discard them, add any number of rocks you want to add to it, discard those, and you get a number. That number determines, let me just put this back over here, what types of loot you can take from either the gray board or from the supply. And let me show you how that works. Every single item in the game, I'm going to use my small board here to show this. Every single gray board item has a little sword and a little number next to it. That has an 8 swords, that has a 10 swords. All the blue items also have a sword associated, like that's an 8 sword for that. If I can roll that number or higher with using my dice mitigation, I can take this tile and put it on, and basically that's how I accumulate tiles. So each die roll allows you to pick up one thing. The English crown, which is the best item in the game as far as like the most expensive, takes 16 swords to get, and it's worth 2 points on its own, Plus, as you can see, it covers a lot of spaces. So that's ultimately how we acquire things through raiding and pillaging. That's one of the first die mechanics. Okay, so the next die mechanic, I'm going to set these aside for a moment. For the next die mechanic, we're going to use dice on the hunting side. So that's pillaging. So when we're doing pillaging or raiding, we're trying to get the highest number possible. Oh, there's one more thing you need to understand, and that is on our galleys, there are 3 individual spaces. Those 3 spaces are reserved for ore. Every ore you have on a Nar increases the value of your die roll by 1. You'll notice on raiding, you're not allowed to use that. But for pillaging, for the 2 pillaging spaces, you're allowed to use your ore in order to add to the value of your die roll. All right, so let's show you how hunting works. Hunting is very similar, but you don't need a boat to hunt. Hunting game allows you to use bows as dice mitigation, which are a type of weapon you get, wood as die mitigation, and you're going to use an orange die. In the case of hunting, though, what you're trying to go for, as opposed to pillaging and raiding, you're going for the lowest possible number. The goal is to get your die all the way down to 0. So by rolling a 6, I would need to have 6 mitigators, combinations of bows or wood to expend to get it all the way down to 0. So the thing is, just like with pillaging, these rolls apply both times. I get 3 rolls. Once I pick up a die and roll it again, I have to keep the next roll. So if I don't like this 3 and roll again, okay, well, I'd keep that 3. But if it were higher, I'd be stuck with keeping the higher number. If I ever fail a roll, or choose not to expend resources to get to 0, or in the case of raiding, choose not to take anything with my roll, I actually gain a benefit. This is one of the great things about this die rolling game. So if I fail a hunting roll, I actually gain a bow from the deck, and I gain wood from the deck. If I were to have raided and had been unsuccessful or chosen not to take an item, I would have gained a sword from the deck and a stone as well. Similarly, there's a hunting spot here and a hunting spot here. If you succeed with hunting, you gain exactly these resources, which is a rack of ribs of food, and as well as a pelt. Snaring is similar. With a snare, you use 2 guys to do it. You use traps, which are a type of weapon, and you use wood. However, if you fail, not only do you get a snare and a wood back, but you also get to take a worker back. So anytime you see these spaces here, it means you get a worker back. In fact, that's actually printed here on the pillaging as well. So if you fail, you get a worker back on it. Well, that brings us to whaling, which is the final part of the game to explain. So whaling uses specifically the whaling ships. This whaling action lets you use any number of whaling ships. The high-level whaling action only lets you use 1. Again, you're trying to get the die down to 0, but you have to use a d12. You can use spears and wood to bring that value down. That might seem really difficult, but let me show you something cool on our game board. So on our game board, you have 3 spots for whaling ships. Each whaling ship, you'll notice, comes with its own ore built in and a spot for ore. So if I had those same 3 ore earlier, and I had them here, and I took the whaling spot, and I took the whaling worker placement spot that lets me use all 3 ships, I've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a -6 to my roll with this d12. Anything I'm not able, which would automatically succeed in that case. If I want to use my, oops, I lost some cards here. If I want to use spears or wood, I can lower that number further. Okay, so that's pretty much covered pretty much everything in the game as far as what you can do. We're actually going to go through and show you the action track as we go, which is over here on the left. The action track actually takes you through the 12 phases of the game. And after we finish each 12th phase, we progress to the next round, we get a new worker, and we pick up all our workers, and we do it again. So it's like most Rosenberg games, it's got a ton of variability, a ton of opportunity, and I can't wait to show you the game. So enjoy this segment. We're going to take a few minutes to get set up for our official game and play through. We hope you enjoyed it. And please feel free to comment with anything you see or want to hear or want to talk about. We'd love to chat with you. Thank you.
Welcome back to It's Your Turn. Now it's time for the live playthrough. If you have any questions again on anything about gameplay or if we did anything wrong, please just let us know. Oh, thank you. Bryn's bringing me my coffee.
Coffee, that's
because
right.
I'm in desperate need of it.
Hey, y'all.
Again, I'm not pushing the burn, but
2020. All right, here we go.
All right, so here we go. Onto the board.
Okay, great. So as usual, I'm going to be first player again, and we're looking at stuff. So I want to show you a few things while Marco decides between his two starting cards. So at the beginning of the game, and I'm going to show you over here what we're doing. We started the game with two starting occupations. Now, I don't mention in the game that you can draw more occupations. Well, you actually start with two, and I've selected this one. They each have a different color associated with them. Blue occupations allow you to trigger them whenever you want. Red occupations say during a specific trigger, you gain a benefit, like this one does. And then yellows have a single effect that you can use whenever it says you can use it. I believe green are similar to that as far as yellows. You also start the game with a mead. You don't start with silver, that was wrong. That was me showing things. You also start with one of each weapon type except a sword. And so that shows ultimately how you start the game. Now let's go over to the playmat over here. Top down here, and we're going to go through each step one by one. So the first step that happens in the first phase of the game is everyone gains a new Viking. So we're going to take a Viking from our tableau and in our holding area and put them into what's called our thing. It's literally called the thing. Okay. So now each of us starts with 6 Vikings in the theme, and we move to the next phase of the game, which is harvest. So if you look at your game board, it says right here that during the first phase where there's a harvest, this is orange piece, you're going to gain a vegetable that has every vegetable that has a 1 printed on it. And because I already know what they are, that's that one, and that one. Now, in the later phases of the game, sometimes there's no harvest, and sometimes you get a different variety of items as you go along. One of the nice things about this Rosenberg game is it actually gives you money, okay? So this is ultimately the tiles that I begin the game with. So now we're going to move to phase 3, which is the exploration phase. Now, if we look at our game board, we have a little dash here, which means nothing happens to exploration. But as we go throughout the game, eventually, we'll start incentivizing the islands with money, and we'll begin flipping the islands over. You remember I showed you how Shetland Island becomes Bear Island? Well, they all have a flip side on them that we'll show as we go through. Okay, the next step is we all draw a new weapon card. So a new weapon card to him, and a new weapon card to me. Now, weapon cards are always public information. So I had to show that I have 2 spears, a snare, and a bow. And Marco got himself 2 spears, a bow, and a snare. Great. All right, the next thing that happens is phase 5, which is the action phase. So this is the meat of the game. This is where we take all of our actions. So I'm going to go first, my first action, right? And so I'm going to go for a sheep strategy specifically. To do that, I need at least 1 silver. I know that from playing the game before. So I think what I'm going to do is I got plenty of food, is I'm going to draw a card through this immigration occupation space. I get to draw a card and take a coin. So I'll take a coin, a silver, and I will draw 1 occupation card, which is added to my hand. And I'll show you this. Now, I'm showing you these occupations right now, but I don't actually have them in play yet. You actually have to take an action to play them. So while Marco decides what he's going to do, I'm going to go over which cards I have. So I have what's called the angler, and anytime I successfully lay a snare on the snare space, I'll actually gain a fish. And this one says, let's see here, after a Viking action, providing at least 1 fish, I can also pay a coin and take a barrel. So it's an easy way, basically this is an easy way to get a fish, and this is an easy way to get an extra barrel whenever I take fish. So they're just actions, and of course they're with victory points that are printed up here. Great, so these right now are in my hand. I'm going to turn them over for now because I don't actually have them available to play. Okay, and Marco's taking his first action and deciding what he's going to do. So he needs to take a worker, an extra one. Great. So he's going to decide. So my strategy in the game, and as he's making decisions, I'm going to talk to the camera here. My strategy in the game is to get this money because I'm going to use it to buy a sheep. Then I'm going to use my three people to be able to get another sheep. That gets me 2 sheep, which is what I need to start the breeding process of breeding sheep. Now, generally, for people who have played this game a lot, this is not a winning strategy usually. So I'm going to try something a little different this game, especially considering some of the new islands that are out there, and we'll see if I can turn it to something better. All right, so the first thing Marco's doing is he's going to take mountains and trade, which means he gets to take 2 items from the left of any of these spaces here. And which one would you like?
The first one.
First one. So he's going to open up all that delicious stone.
I got me some wood.
That's right, you got some wood. So now I have to decide, do I want to go ahead and take some of the stone and take one of those actions or continue with my sheep? I'm going to continue with the sheep stuff. So I'm going to take 2 people, or 3, I'll take 3, and place them here to gain a free sheep. So it's going to take a sheep and put it into my tableau area. Now the thing is, I can use this sheep for food if I want to. It would eat it, right? So those are 2 victory points at the end of the game. Or I can keep it and add it to my breeding pen. If I ever get 2 sheep in there, I'll start the breeding process. But the other thing that happens is since I place three workers in this space, I get to draw another card. So I'll take another occupation card, and I'll read that while Marco decides what he's going to do. So over here it says Etiquette Teacher, 3 points. So if I've played at least 1 occupation, whenever I play at least 1 occupation, I can immediately get peas. So that's interesting, but it's worth 3 points in the game, and it's triggered off playing occupations. I have 3 in my hand, so if I were to get this down first, it would trigger itself, and then I would trigger on future occupations as well. So that's an interesting start. I'll go ahead and keep these just in case I want to play them later. Okay, Marco is using his 2 wood to pick up a trading ship. Not an attack ship? All right, go on trading ship. All right, and so he's done with his turn. My final action is going to be to use my 2 workers to pay my 1 coin to get another sheep. So here goes a coin, it's gone. And I'll pick up another sheep immediately. So there's my 2 sheep in there. I'm going to start breeding sheep pretty much in this turn. Now I'm out of people, so I'm out of being able to play. So what this means is whoever places the last action will get first player for the next round. So Marco is going to, by default, do that. But he's got 3 guys left. He can choose to break them up however he wants. He can place 1, then 3, or then 2. Sorry, 1, then 2 if he wants, because he has 3. That's up to him. He's opted for fish, and he's making a decision. So in the game, what I'm going to do is I'm only going to get like 0 income at the beginning of this round because on my game board I didn't fill up any of the income spaces, so I'm not going to gain any money. So that's probably why this is kind of a losing way to start the game, but I'm going to have fun doing it anyway. We'll see. But I do feel cool that I'm going to get the sheep breeding as quickly as possible. So in future rounds, my goal is to try to get the cows going as well. Now, as with most Rosenberg games, I can't have like 4 sheep all breeding. You can only have a maximum of 2 sheep in the breeding pen at a time. Any extra sheep you have are just extra resources you have. But ultimately, I want to turn my sheep into wool, and wool I can use to clumber up my game board. So,
and I'm done. Okay,
so now that we're done, we go to phase 6, which phase 6 says give the new starting player. So that's going to be Marco since he finished playing actions first. And now we collect our income.
Is this a moose or a bison?
I think it's a moose.
Moose.
Moose. All right. So I don't have anything to put down, so I'm not going to be able to gain any income. And you'll notice, even though I have tiles, I can't put those tiles on these spaces because only green and blue tiles can be played on your main game board. So Marco's going to play his first wool down, which is going to get him 2 income. So he collects his 2 income. And now we go to animal breeding. So here's how animal breeding works. Because I have 2 of the same type in my pen, one of them leaves the pen and the other one flips over to the pregnant side. Notice it's worth an extra point, right? If I have a pregnant animal in the breeding pen at the start of the next phase, in other words, if I don't eat it first, basically, this will flip back over and give me another sheep, which I can then breed to itself, which is, yeah, that's what that is. Okay, so there, I've got a pregnant sheep now, and that's the end of the breeding phase. Now we go to the feasting phase. This is where we feed our workers. So I've got to be able to put resources down here to be able to feed my workers. Now, I think I'm going to use these peas, this meat I just got, this meat I started the game with, and these beans. And as you see, since I filled every slot, I fed my workers. Now, if I couldn't feed them all, if I, for instance, had an extra space, for every worker I can't feed, I take a thing penalty. Yes, it's called a thing penalty. And it's negative 3 points per worker I can't feed. If I had to do that, I've probably lost the game. So there might be a strategy where that works. I don't know what it is. But at the end, since I fed my people, these resources actually get discarded. And I'll have to feed them again next turn. So put those in there. That's the feed people. Now here comes the bonus phase. If we have completely surrounded any of the bonus tiles, we'll gain those as income. So I haven't done that. Marco hasn't done that, so neither one of us get that. The next step is to do the new mountain tiles. So here's how this works. The leftmost resource on each mountain tile leaves the game. There's some extra rules as far as what happens if it gets down to just the silver. So these are out of the game, and a new mountain tile comes out. So we'll go ahead and put a new mountain tile out, and we'll fill it up with resources. So there's one there, and 2. The final thing that happens in the game, I'll just put these wood out here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. The final thing that happens in the game is we get all of our workers back. So we'll go back to the game board, pick up our workers, put them back in our thing, and that's going to start round 2, which starts at the beginning of phase 1 again, which we take a new worker. We've now completely played through 1 round of Feast for Odin. There are 7 total.
Simple as that.
Yeah, as simple as that.
This is a game in which I wish there was interaction for, because I want to kill that sheep. I don't care if it's pregnant or not. I don't want him producing sheep, because that is a good strategy. I don't care if they say it's not. It is a really good strategy. All right, so
Hey, Marco's speaking now. This is great.
Yes.
He needed some coffee.
What I'm going to do is this action right here.
Oh, wow. So he's using 3 people. So he gets to draw an action. He gets to draw an occupation card to put in his hand. Now he gets 3 from any one and 2 from the other. So what would you like?
I'm going to take. I'm going to take the 3 wood.
3 wood
from the top, and then the 2
stone. Okay, yep. Great. Okay. Now remember, I need money right now to be able to get cows, right? That's kind of like what I'm going for here. So in order to get money for cows, look what just came available of that. So I'm going to take a single worker. I'm going to put it right there on the 2 mountain trade spot and take an ore and 2 silver. And that's my round.
So
this tile, once cleared, leaves the game. It's out of the game now.
Now I don't know if you noticed this, but these are really nice cardboard stock that they use here.
Oh my goodness!
Like on all of this, it's nice and thick.
It's all so thick, yeah.
And they just did a great job constructing a game like this.
Yeah, Z-Man did a great job. This is a great manufacturing job on this game.
All right.
Go Z-Man.
You know what I'm gonna do?
I don't know.
Where is that action in which I can move this up there?
Okay, immigration action. The first immigration action you can take is a 2-person action. That'll cost you 2 silver to do it, though.
I got 2 silver.
Oh, look at that! He's already spending his 2 silver, turning his Nar into an immigration ship, which makes it, again, 18 points and a lot easier to feed your people. Great.
Now, what we forgot to do
because we didn't do any of the steps because we're dumb. Let's go back and show you the steps. So we did phase 1, we got a Viking. Phase 2, we get harvest again. So let's get food. So we're going to take all the foods with a 1 printed on them, and we also get the 1 food with a 2 printed on it, which is this long-looking bunch of stuff. So now I've got a lot of food. The problem is I don't have any red food to break up my, feeding my people. Right. So while I could do this and say this, I would need to use a coin to feed them or pick up something that's red. Okay, great. That's
your action.
Wait, let's go back through. So now we do the island phase, which is nothing for round 2. But we'll start seeing the islands act up in the next round. Now we all get a weapons. There's a weapon for Marco. He got a spear. Wow, good spears for him. And I got a sword, which is good for pillaging and attacking. Great, now we're in the action phase, and that's kind of what we already kind of started, so Marco started there. All right, so I've got my 2 silver, which is great. Actually, I just went. Oh, you went again. You did the immigration. Okay. So I'm looking here. I really need a fish. Now, what we already know from me is that if I can succeed at laying a snare, I'll get a fish as long as I play this card first. So I'm looking for something that I could do that would allow me to play the card. Well, I can use an ore or a stone to play a card and gain money, and that looks like a really good idea. So for one guy, I'll spin this ore I just picked up, yay. I will play a card from my hand, and this looks like a pretty good idea. Actually, you know what? Yeah, it looks like a pretty good idea. So that card, Angler, is now in my play area. So now after I succeed laying a snare, I'll gain a fish, which is exactly what I need since it's 3 long to feed my people. And now I also gain a coin because of what that action does. So.
All right, now back to me.
Yep, well, he's deciding what to do. I'm going to show you. So I've got 3 and 2 left. 2 is enough to play a snare, and 3 is enough to go pick up one of my cattle. So, pretty cool. Actually, 3 and 2 is enough to get 2 cattle if I have 1 more coin. I don't think I'm going to be able to get another coin this round, so we'll go for the fish. Okay, so he's trading 1 stone in, crafting a stone into a rune stone and a coin. Pretty good little move there. Okay, I'm going to spend my 2 on a snare. Now, I've only got 1 snare, so I've only have mitigation of 1. It's not a great action actually for me, but I'm going to try my best at it because it'll get me a free fish if I'm successful. So I start with this orange die. I'm going to try to go for the lowest number possible. I rolled a 4. Well, I need to actually have a 1 for it to be successful. A 6. And a 5. Okay, so I'm not successful. So because of that, I'm going to get 1 worker back. I'm going to get a snare and a wood. So here comes the wood. Here comes the worker back. And I get a snare, which we usually just take from the bottom. And there's a snare right there. So in the future times I try that, I'll have more snares to use for more die mitigation. Great doing that. Okay. I've got 4 people left. Acquiring a fish would be excellent right now. I could take a fish. Think about it is if I had this card that says when you take a fish, you can spend a coin to get a barrel. That'd be really useful right now. What I'm looking at though is I need something to be able to get my income going. And in order to do that, I need to be able to either trade a wood. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to spend 2 Viking warriors here on this space. I can trade in a single wood. Okay, wood's gone. For a coin and a treasure chest, which is a 2x2 blue tile, which I don't even have to like tell you where it's going to go. It's going to go right there, so I can start getting my income going. Okay, that's it for me.
And keep on going. Still your turn.
You're done then. You've finished all your
done.
actions. Okay, so I've still got 2 people left. I need to at least feed them something, so a fish would be a really good thing for this turn. So let's go ahead and do that for a fish. So I've got my fish now that I can eat, and I've got one more action here to take. And based on what I've got there, I'm gonna have another sheep next time, which is great. Boy, it'd be great to have another cow, but I've only got one guy. So with that one guy, let's go back to, there's not a whole lot to do with one. You know what? I'll take another card and take a coin. So, excuse me. So I'm gonna take another occupation and get another coin. I need lots of money in order to get these cows going.
All right. So now again, end of turn.
So this card is a boat builder. As soon as I have 4 large ships, I actually gain immediately 2 whaling ships, which is kind of a neat little card. So, okay, great.
All right. So now we're going down. We're going to determine starting player.
Okay, back
Bryn
to me.
gets it.
Yep.
All right. Now we're going to do income phase.
2 income.
2 income over here.
Okay. Great.
All right. Next is animal breeding.
Okay. So this 3 that's pregnant flips over, and I actually get to take another sheep from the supply. So I can go ahead and put those sheep there. Or
Now here's one thing I don't understand about this game. Apparently, children can mate with the mother in this.
Do you not know how animal breeding works?
This is all about inbreeding over here.
I'm using the inbreeding strategy. Don't judge me. Okay. All right.
All right.
All right. Let's see. All right. So income phase.
All right.
Oh, we already got the income.
Breeding. Now feast.
Feast. Okay. So you see, I've got my people fed here. So let's go ahead and feed both the foods that I got. Boom, boom, boom. All done. Fed everybody. Everyone's fed. What you got going on? You and your easy feeding. So you can always choose to turn a resource 90 degrees if you want to in order to feed your people. So just be aware that that's always a rule. So he's fed his people. He's good. I don't think either one of us has any bonuses coming in though. So mountains. So we're going to remove the leftmost resource from each of those, and we're going to turn over a new tile. And I'll fill it out while Marco gets all of our workers back. Because that's the next step in the process.
Here is all of Bryn's workers.
Okay.
Here's all of mine.
Okay. And we're almost done here. And more silver.
All right, one comes down. And now it's turnover.
So now here we go. We're going to go up here. A new worker comes down. And what happens? We get, no harvest. So we get no food. So what we have is what we have. Now A flips. So let's go to the boards. The 2 A tiles, which are both the first expansion tile and the original Shetland tile, flip over and become their better versions, basically. We've got Orkney and Bear Island. So both of those are in the game. Every other tile now, every other place, what am I trying to say? Expansion board, island, gains 2 coins. So they kind of incentivize further picking it up. Okay, so that's islands. Let's all draw a new weapon. New weapon for you, new weapon for me. Bow, so that makes it easier to hunt. So I've got 2 bow, 2 spear, 2 snare, and a sword.
Yep, and now it's your turn.
All right, great. So now we're in actions. Okay, well I know I at least want to use 3 guys to take this awesome sheep action. Why? Because it gets me 3 wool immediately, which is great. I know I also want to use at least 3 guys to pick up a cow, and 2 to pick up a cow. That'll get my breeding strategy really going well. So let's go ahead and do those in order. Let's go ahead and first do this to turn. I'll get to draw an occupation card, which I'm just seeing it doesn't have anything to do with what I'm doing currently, so I'll just put it down. And I get to take 3 green tiles into my hand. So 1, 2, 3, and I'm done.
All right, and don't mind the shaking. It's not an earthquake. It's just Bryn's hitting the table.
Oh, thanks for reminding me. Yeah, I need to stop doing that. Okay.
All right. So my first action is going to be using 3.
Oh, picking up picking up the attack ship. Okay, great. Okay.
And I get to draw a card.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? This one? Oh, no. That one.
Yep, I'm looking at my next. Okay, great. That's kind of neat. All right. I love that. I got to feed my people too, As much as I want to get both cows going right now, feeding my people is going to be an important part of this turn. So looking at it, the way this is shaped, I really can't put these 2 next to each other. I could do that and put silver, but I don't really want to lose points. So I really need to get another fish. So why don't I just go ahead real quick and try for the fish strategy. So let's go back to laying a snare and rolling my die. I've got more snares this time. 7 doesn't do it. I got to get down to 0. 7 doesn't do it again.
No.
And a 2. Now a 2 snares, 2 minus 2 is 0. So I was successful. So I'll gain this really awesome large wolf pelt, animal pelt. So that goes up here for me. These 2 snares are out of the game. However, it says whenever you succeed laying a snare, you also gain 1 back. So 1 will return. I get a snare back basically that caught it. The other snare goes to the bottom of the pile of cards. And one more important thing happens. I get a fish because I was successful in laying a snare, which feeds my people for the round. That's my turn.
All right, so I'm gonna do something I don't normally do because I suck at this game.
Wait, when?
Right now.
When?
When what?
You said you were gonna do something you don't normally do.
Right.
When?
Right now.
W-I-N.
Yes, that either.
Okay, I'm gonna check. All right.
Oh, wait, hold on. I can't.
Uh-oh, hold on.
I can't pick up these because they turned over.
Well, they're still Faro.
Oh, there is.
Frozen, and this Orkney is now. Actually, Orkney can be picked up in the same space.
I can.
I sure can. That's the brand new one too.
All right. So which one do I want to pick up?
This is the earliest you could possibly pick up our Orkney. Why don't you get it?
Yeah.
Faro is considered to be one of the most challenging islands in the game to ever use. I will say that.
So I'm gonna pick that up.
Orkney Island. So you've got one of the expansion islands.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna try it out.
So this island actually produces cows, weapons, big vegetable bowls, and it has an income track. Very cool.
All right.
Okay, great.
So want to show a close up over there?
Yeah, let's show it. So here's awesome Orkney. It's worth 12 points, but it has 25 -1 spaces if he doesn't cover them up. It has a potential of 4 income. And if he surrounds this space, he gets a cow. If he surrounds this space, he draws an extra weapon card. If he surrounds this space, he gets one of the large vegetable platters, which actually turn into, I think these are like bones of some sort. Yeah, they ultimately can become really big tiles to place on the board if you upgrade them enough.
Now, do I have to start
cool
keep that shown?
Okay.
Do I have to start covering the bottom right before I can start covering the bottom left?
So here's the rule. You can cover anywhere you want to, and you can even cover spaces that are technically bonuses. The only rule is you cannot cover an income square, like an actual square that has income, until you've covered everything below it and everything to its left.
All right.
Okay.
Good to know.
There you go.
All right. Now back to the main board.
Okay, great. And you've now gone twice. I've gone twice, and I went first, right? So I've got 3 left. Do I go ahead and get my cow now?
Cow now, brown cow.
Cow now. I've got a lot of money now. You know, picking up a building in an island is probably not a bad idea, but I will I know I'm going to eventually need a gnar. So why don't I go ahead and spend the 5 coins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coins. That's a free action to go ahead and take a gnar, and that puts this here. And then I'm going to take these 2 to go pick up Iceland. Iceland is going to be my first island. And I don't know if this is scrolled down, I don't know if they can see Iceland.
Yeah,
but Iceland has a really great income track that I'm going to start working on. I can also gain a barrel there, a fish every turn, which would be cool for me, and or a stone if I'm able to get that tile surrounded. So I'll put these actually right here as close as I can, and these are my other tiles. These are my other cards that are currently in play. Okay.
Brent, if you want, straighten out your board.
Okay. How would you like to straighten it? Like this?
Yeah, a little bit better, a little bit angle the corner. There you go.
Okay. And
too
down?
much. Too much.
And down, right? Because we don't really see anything below.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, you're good.
That's good. Okay. Great.
So we're just trying to fix stuff for your viewers.
Give me a little bit easier time to see that.
All right, so now it's my turn again.
Okay.
And, you know, I really don't like feeding people. So, again, I'm going to go here.
You're immigrating again.
Here's 3.
That's great.
And there we go.
Okay. I've got 1 worker left. You still have workers left, right?
Yep.
So I got 1 worker left. You know, I'm going to go hunting. I've got a couple bows. Let's go ahead and go hunting. I'm going to go for a low number here. I got a 3. I have 2 bows. I need at least... I don't have any wood to do, so I got to get at least a 2 or less. 5 doesn't do it. A 1, however, will do it. So goodbye, bow. That's out of the game. It's over there. And I get to get what looks like a piece of some ribs. Yay, some ribs. And I get to get one of these small pelts. Now you'll notice now that I've already got 3 different types of green goods. Remember how I mentioned the overseas trading space allows you to pay money and turn them all into blues, and that's what I'm going to be going for very soon.
All right,
Okay.
so now it's back to me.
Yep.
All right, I do need to feed people at this point, so I'm going to use the fishing action.
Okay.
Get a fish. So that should be enough to feed the people. And you know what? Now I'm going to upgrade twice.
Oh, upgrade twice. Only got one person.
Every
two items once. Okay,
right.
Cool. Go ahead. Make it happen.
Let's see.
Because he finished first, he's going to get first player. I'm going to pass it over because he already knows it's coming.
I'm going to do that.
I'm going to look at my actions real quick to see if there's anything I want to do.
Alright.
Interesting. Not a bad little action. I'm looking at this card in particular. We can switch over here.
Yep.
This card's called the Fur Merchant. If I take an action space on one of these two actions, if I take either this action or that action, and it has to do with going into the mountains and getting an upgrade, I can lose the upgrade and instead trade either one of these, which I have, or one of the blue long pieces into this nice wolf pelt. So that's a nice way to turn these into something really good every time I take that action space. And it does get me resources when I go there, so it's very tempting to try it. Okay, so I'll set that down. That's what I'm going to be going for next time I get to play a card. And if you, okay, so you finished your last action, right?
Yep.
Okay, so we finished last, I passed him first player, now let's go to phase 7, that's income. So we've got to put our tiles down. So I already know that I'm going to be trying to turn these all into blues. So I've got at least a couple of these I can play. So I'm going to place one over here on Iceland, which is going to go ahead and get me up to 2 income there. And there's not really another place I want to put it at the moment that's going to help me out. Because I remember greens can't go adjacent to each other, so I'll set that over here. Okay, so that's it for me, unless there's, actually, you know what, as much as I want to turn these all into blues, it might be a good idea to go ahead and start, like that'll make that, oh, I can't do that yet, that's why they need to be blues. Okay, yeah, then I'm good for the sake of just moving the game along, that's good enough for me.
Alright, so income phase.
Great.
I'll get 4.
I'll get 4 as well. So
Alright.
I'll go ahead and take a 4. They actually have these nice little chips that are like glued together, but not glued together, but they're printed together. So this is a 4 income. Great. And that's it for me.
Alright, now next is breeding.
Breeding phase. So since I have 2 in there, one gets pregnant, the other one comes out. And I'm about to start being able to eat my sheep since they're going to be breeding faster than I need them. Okay.
Hey, thanks for joining us, Blake. We are playing Feast for Odin. Feast for Odin by Uwe Rosenberg.
With the expansion.
With the expansion,
that just came out.
It is a game that I am no good at, but I love playing. And I don't know why I'm subjecting myself to this again. But for all those else who are watching today, this is actually we're doing a Uwe Rosenberg series.
Series of games.
Right. So next we have
Nurisford. Yep, it's his newest one, Nurisford.
Right, and then
and we'll see where we go from there.
Right.
Because we've got a lot of selections. It is Rosenberg after all.
And make sure to stay tuned for all those other ones because during one of those live streams, we will be doing a giveaway on one of the games. So stay tuned with us.
Sounds fun.
All right, back onto the board.
Great. So we got to do our feeding phase now. So as you see, I already set up all my food. So I'm going to go ahead and feed my people. There's the feed people.
Oh, it takes so little to feed these people.
I know. You've got such a great setup there. I hope it pays off in the end.
No, you don't.
I know it won't. I'm kidding. We'll see. All right. So now we got the bonus phase. I have no bonuses. Do you have any bonuses?
I get this, yes.
You do have a bonus?
Yeah, the big thing.
You know what? I could actually, because the income phase is between the income and the bonus phase, I can actually use some of my resources to gain a bonus. So if I wanted to, for instance, do something like this, that would actually gain me a barrel, right?
Let me put it on the screen so they can see it.
All right, great. So if I wanted to be able to, since I just gained income, I can use money to surround this barrel, which would gain me another barrel. I can't put that there, unfortunately, so I'd have to use one of these pieces to be able to do it. Which I think I will. I'll go ahead and use that there since the fish is ultimately going to be good for me too. You know what? I'll pass it. I already have a plan. I know it's not great right now because I'm kind of speeding through, but I'm going to keep going. But I'm just saying I could have done that if I wanted to surround it with money and gain that as a bonus.
All
okay,
right, so
next
back
one's
to the board.
Mountains, right? So
Yep, mountains.
We'll clean these spaces off and look, another mountain tile comes out. Now this is the most the mountain tiles I think I've ever seen them like build up. But I don't think either one of us are particularly going for them right now. So there are a lot of resources available to pick up now. Okay, and 2 money goes on there. All right, and let's get our people back. So people back.
All right, people back.
Okay. And because it's the beginning of round 4, phase 1, we get another worker. So we've now played through three rounds of the game.
Because of this, we also get more food.
Okay, yeah, so we do harvest now, and harvest we're going to gain everything that's a 1, 2, or 3. So 1, 1, 1, and 2, and then a 3. So that's going to get us a whole smorgasbord of food, which is great. So we have all that food we can use now to be able to feed our people. So that takes care of harvest. Now it's the seas phase, and right now all the bees turn over. So the bee, Faroe Island is a bee, so it's going to flip over. It loses its money when it flips over, and that money gets transferred to, I would say transferred, everything else gains money. So we're going to go ahead and put, there's now 4 on Greenland and 4 on Terra del Fuego. Yeah, great. So that's the islands that are out there right now. Okay, great. So that takes care of B. What's next? We get a weapon. Yep. So a weapon for you.
Oh, thanks.
Weapon for me. I got another sword. Man, I need to go raiding. Totally need to go raiding.
All right.
Okay.
And I need money.
Action phase.
All right. So the action phase. Now we have all these workers.
Mm-hmm.
First off, what I'm going to do is this. Take 4.
Oh, he's putting 4 guys down here. First of all, he gets to play a card.
Yep.
Because he played 4 guys, you always get to play an occupation for free.
Tell us what master count does, if you want to show it on the detailed camera.
I may not know either. So let's see. Your master count says that when you take the second overseas trading action, not the first one, then for every NAR you have, you gain a coin. So it costs a coin to take the action, but say you had 4 NARs as the most as you can have, you'd actually gain a net of 3 coins every time you take the second overseas trading action. So not a great card for you. Good for me. I'm taking overseas trading, but yeah.
After a Viking action, that provided at least 2. What's this one?
Okay. And so this is the Cooper. It says after you take a Viking action that gives you at least 2 wood, which he's about to do right now, if he takes wood, he can turn one of those wood into a fish. Pretty cool, right? So the action he just took is actually going to get him 4 resources from a space. Doing that would be a great thing. You get a free fish as well.
All right, so that's what I'm going to use.
Okay, he's going to play that. He has a Cooper in play. And which 4 would you like to take from one resource? Now, he doesn't have to take all 4. He could just take, say, these 2 if he wanted to. But I imagine there's better plays out there.
Yeah, you know what?
You got to take at least 2 wood to trigger that effect, though.
I'm going to take the top one.
Okay, so all this, since he picked up 2 wood, he gets a free fish. And he gets to, here's the cool thing about this action, too. He gets to upgrade 2 things twice, or trade up. So that means an orange to a green, or a, hey, we don't have us as a small cam. Put me right there. Yeah, just keep it right there. That'd be great. Cool. So he gets to trade orange to a green or a red to a blue. 2 different items. So did you go ahead and do that?
No, not yet.
Okay, fine.
All right. So,
but you can decide that and I can continue my turn, right? So that'll work. Okay, great. So I really want to go raiding because I really want this piece right here, which I guess I could use my NAR to go buy. It's tempting. I do have some money. You know, let's do that. There's other things I want too. I'm going to, first of all, spend a single guy and craft. That's going to turn this resource here into a green version of this, which is great. So if we look at my board briefly, you can see that I'm building up a variety of green shapes to do overseas trading and turn them all blue, which I'm going to be doing by the end of this round most likely. So I need to save at least 1 guy for overseas trading. Okay, great. So let me put these out here. And I need another fish. You know?
All right, so you've done your action?
Right now I can put that there. I am done with my action, that's right.
All right.
Nice and easy action this time.
So now what I'm going to do is I need another boat.
Another boat?
So I'm going to take 2.
Okay. Okay, taking 2 wood and he's going to get himself another NAR.
Yep.
Okay, he's got another NAR. Okay, well, I've got money. I've actually got 8 money here. And it would sure be nice to buy some of the things up here. It's going to cost me at least 2 for that. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's take 3 guys. There's a specific thing I want. 3 to go here. I've got my NAR ready. So I can spend money and buy up to 2 items here. Before I do that, I get to draw a card. Now I know I haven't played very many of these cards, but I'm looking at them. So this says if I ever go raiding, instead of raiding, so I can choose the raiding action. Instead of raiding, I can actually upgrade 2 things twice. So it gives me an extra version of that space and 2 points. Cool, but that's not what I'm doing. What I'm doing now is I'm going to buy things on the gray board. So we finally get to see this. So I definitely want this one. It's going to cost me 2 coins. So here's 2. And I get to buy 1 more thing. So I've got a lot of money over here. So buying something worth 4 is usually pretty good. So let me show you. Can they see my board over here?
They can now.
Okay, let's do that. So why this particular thing is so good is because if I put it around this fish, that fish is now surrounded. Since that's not really a place to play, it's considered to be surrounded. I'll start creating fish every turn, which, as you can see, would have been very helpful last turn. So that'll make fish for me. So now I've got to pick one other item that I want to put down here on my board. And looking at the shapes of what I've got going on, even this little item, which is really cheap, would be a nice little benefit right here, for instance. So let me see if there's not anything else out here that might be better. And actually, Marco can decide what he's going to do while I'm doing this, since I'm just buying these items, basically. I get to buy one more. So take these. Now, what's nice about these is they're double-sided. So if I wanted to, I could place that there, for instance, as part of my move, which might be something I end up doing. So, but let me just see if there's anything better out here that I want to buy with my money. It's weird because I'm playing upside down, so you guys have an easy time seeing at home. But that's not a bad space. That actually almost completely covers that. That's not bad either for the purpose of covering things and getting me wood. I wouldn't mind having that, but since I'm going to be making a fish, it's not that important that I get that space available. It cost me 5 coins. Let me see if there's anything else I really like. Maybe this here would be good. As you can see, this game has a lot of really cool little options that you can do as far as like choosing how you want to set up your board and how you play. So either way, just looking at this and how these are shaped, and I'm thinking that I'll just go ahead and grab the nice and easy item that takes 1 coin. And I'll have this for either here or some other flexibility later. Okay, great. Is that for me? Did you already decide what you're doing, Marco?
I already did.
Okay, great. Okay, great. So I'm getting close to wanting to do my overseas action. I've got 4 left. What I don't have is I don't have a barrel, which there isn't a really easy way to get a barrel except whaling, which takes at least 3 people. Let's see here. You know what? I'd like to go out to the board and get some more things. So let's spend at least 1 guy here and pick up 2 items from a space. I'll pick up some more money and another ore. Should be good for covering spaces, and that's my first action. And this one goes away.
All right, I'm going to do this action.
Okay.
Here's 4 money.
Okay, he's immigrating again. Great, 4 money. And turning that now into another immigration ship. Great. Okay, for me, I've got 3 left. I think I'll spend 2 here to grab 3 things. That'll give me all 3 of these. 2 more of those and 2 money. Plus, it lets me upgrade 1 thing. So let's go ahead and upgrade this green to a blue. You know what? Let's actually turn this into a green. So this item here, which I was going to eat, is now going to be some fish and bones, which adds to my overseas trading as well. Okay.
All right, I'm done with my actions.
All right, great. So we know I'm going to be overseas trading. I've got 1 more action. I've got to get something to eat here. I could eat another one of my sheep, but I kind of like them as points. So let me take this guy here and go to the fish market, spend a coin, and buy. You know what? I only need 1 fish because I'm going to be creating fish in the future. So that'll get me a fish, which will go here. Final action. We've been waiting for it. Overseas trading. Boom. It's going to cost me a coin to go overseas trading. I can turn any number of different green items into their blue counterparts. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the possible 8 blue green items. They all flip to being blue. And now I have a bunch of blue things to place. And that is the end of my actions, which will make me first player next turn.
Yep.
Now it's income phase. Now here's the deal with income phase, and they can still see me down there. With the income phase, I've got a lot of things to place here. So I'm going to take just a minute trying to figure out how I want to maximize on my income this turn. But if you want to follow along with me while I make decisions, feel free to look at my board with me. Okay, so we already know that we've got some pretty cool little pieces here that I can put there, for instance, to be able to get that. I can put this one here to be able to get that thing, which is kind of cool. I can't forget that I've still got a sheep item right here that's out here, so that might be a safe spot to put that to ultimately get these other items here. Let's see here. What else could I do? What else could I do?
Blake, that does not count, but I will give that to you as a mistake that Bryn just made.
Oh yeah, what did I do?
Not go to Origins.
Oh, I didn't go to Origins. Yeah,
yes.
I can't. I can't go to Origins.
Unfortunately, not all of us can make it to Origins.
That would be great, though.
We would love to, but unfortunately, we just cannot.
That's right.
Spend the time to get out there.
Yep. All right, I'm going to place this here. It's kind of a nice spot there. Maybe I'll place a different thing. Maybe I'll place this here. I ultimately want to get that money. It's too bad I don't have anything bigger to go there. This is the part of the game that's very puzzly, right? And very fun usually, but I want to make sure I don't take too much time trying to figure out the puzzle. Hey!
Too late.
Trying to figure out the puzzle so that I can, So that's going to give me the barrel, and it's going to give me at least 4 income, which is great over here.
And this is why I don't like playing this game with Bryn, because he takes forever to find out. No, there is no come on.
We are almost done here. We are almost done.
We would be halfway through turn 5 at this moment, and you guys would be going, "Oh my God, this game is so quick!" But no, as you can see on Bryn's board, still fiddling.
That's
Remember,
right.
as soon as it's placed, it's done. But you see, he doesn't do that. He keeps moving things.
Well, that's because until you set it.
It's set. At that moment, that is set. Whoever thinks that's not set, disagree with me, please.
All right, I'm gonna take these 2 coins and split them up into little coins.
All right, so
and that's gonna allow us to get that
income
there.
phase is now upon us.
Fine, income phase.
4 for me.
Did what I could. Okay, income phase. I get 9. See, it was worth it, right? For me, 9 was it worth it. No. Okay. Anyway, at 9 now. Yay. Okay. Cool.
All right. Now next is breeding.
Breeding. Okay, my pregnant sheep becomes another sheep. So. Another sheep. All right, what's next?
All right. Next is
feasting.
Feast.
We're eating the fish I just made.
Oh yes, 1. That's all I need to feed them.
Okay, great. What's next?
All right, next
bonuses.
Is bonuses.
We actually get bonuses this time, guys. We get a wood and a mead. So here's a mead. Here's a wood. I get a fish and a barrel. Fish and a barrel.
How many fish in a barrel?
I get a fish and a barrel. But look at all this stuff I'm getting now. See, this game's really fun. It's really cool. All right, so that's it. All right, so we did that. Mountains and trading. So this will go away. This will go away. This will clean the board, and then we're going to go ahead and put out another board.
Yep. While Bryn's doing that, we'll collect the workers.
I actually hate doing this portion of it. Isn't that weird? But I really hate it. So,
really? After all of that, you hate this?
I hate this. This is fiddly to me. I'm kidding. It's not really fiddly to me. It's just.
I don't understand.
I like when other people do it. All right, we're done. That was that.
He usually throws those things at me and is like, fill this.
That's right, I do. All right, top of phase 1 of round 5.
Nothing happens. C's turn around.
Okay. No, we got no ink. We have no harvest this time.
Right.
And the C board turns over, which was Iceland, which I already took.
Right.
Every other board gets money. So we're gonna turn this into a 4. This comes a 2. I need some more 2s to turn these into 6s. Now Greenland and Terra del Fuego, which is one of the new boards, are all really incentivized right now. In fact, one more turn, D's gonna flip over, and then Terra del Fuego is gonna get 8 coins on it, which is like the best it's ever gonna get. Okay, great. So that's the food. Let's get a weapon. Here's a weapon for you.
I don't want a weapon.
Here's a weapon for me. I noticed you're not using them. And another snare for me. So, okay.
All right. So now it is Bryn's turn to go first, if he will ever take his turn.
I'm going to take my turn. Okay. So at this point, I've got these great sheep. Let's go ahead and keep going with sheep. I've got 3 sheep. Let's go here. Actually, he's got no sheep to be able to take the action. So this is a part of the strategy. It's like, I know I've got sheep already. I got that locked down. He can't take a space he can't use. So it's just now a matter of, is there something else that's more valuable to me? I've got overseas trading. I'm doing pretty well. You know, I've already kind of got everything moving. It's now just a matter of what do I want to do next? And I've got to fill my board with things. So let's go for another big round of overseas trading by taking 2 guys and going back to, ooh, you know what? I'm going to get some mitigation this time. So these 3, nope, yep.
Again.
2 sheep. I got 2 sheep, 2 wood. Done. That's all I'm going to do.
Are you done?
I'm done. 2 wood.
Are you sure?
2 wood. The wood helped.
He likes to hate draft stuff so much.
Okay, 2 wood help mitigate the rolls I'm about to make. Not to,
whatever.
Tell you what I'm about to do, but I'm going to be going for some of these green items.
You got rid of my fish. That's
Your
what
fish?
You did.
What? Oh.
He doesn't. He says he didn't realize it.
I didn't realize
that
it.
That is BS.
I forgot about it.
Complete BS.
Sorry.
I play enough games with him to understand when this happens.
It's totally an accident, I swear.
All right.
So while he looks at the game, comes this cool little bin. Now we didn't set up the bin correctly. We just set it up in a way that basically you can see it, but we can easily get to the pieces. But there's some cards that interact with the direction the bins are going. So when it mentions goes up, it actually has a trading path to be able to trade up. So, and I'm hoping I'm not doing that completely wrong after all this time, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. It was the way I was taught.
Remember, if you do a correct mistake correction, $10 gift card
to Miniature Market.
Yes.
I have to pay for that, don't I?
You do.
Dang it. I better not make a mistake.
3. Here's 2. I get...
You got another... Well, you're just going... Man, just going all in. Did you get a card?
No, I need to get a card.
Okay. All right, so let's go hunting. Boom, we're going to hunt. Here goes the die. I got a low number. 5. Nope, not low enough. That's cocked. Let me just roll it here. 7, not so great. 8, really not great. Okay, I get a wood, and I get a bow, which I'm gonna go find. Sorry, guys.
All right. So while he's doing that, and I can't see the table
because I didn't succeed. I get another bow. Yay. I'm gonna put these over here now since I'm the one grabbing all the weapons, right?
Yep.
It was such a good setup. And then we got this screen in the way. I'm just kidding.
It has nothing to do with my screen.
It has nothing to do with your screen.
All right. I'm gonna upgrade these 2 things.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Back to me. All right. Let's do this. Let's go lay a snare. I know there's good things for me waiting there. I've got 2 snares. So let's go low numbers. Cocked again. Gosh, that would have been nice. It looked like a 1. An 8. Nope. A 6. That's not going to do it either. And a 7. None of that's going to work. I get another snare, which I already know is here. I get a worker back, and I get another wood. Wow. That wasn't expected. That's terrible. Okay. How do you even deal with this? Okay.
Now I'm going to take 2 workers.
Okay.
And do three upgrades.
Okay.
So these 2 come to green. And this blue.
Okay.
Actually, I want to do this one. To red. All right.
Okay, great. Well, this isn't working great for me. I need to be able to feed my people too. Let me go ahead and actually set up some food on here to see if I can't feed them easily. You know, this is going to be challenging unless I eat a sheep. I really don't want to eat the sheep. Oh, you actually know that would work just fine.
Eat the damn sheep.
They're fed. They're fed. Are you happy they're fed? Okay, here goes a guy. I'm going to craft these flax into one of these long pieces here, which is setting up from overstream. You see he's trading again, and it's your turn.
No, is it? Are you sure?
I'm trying. I'm trying to go as quickly as I can.
All right. How many workers do you have left?
I have a bunch. I've been using singles. That I got a guy back for. So I have 4
I feel like he's cheating me.
Sorry, guys. What are you reading?
Oh. Hey, welcome for joining us, Sean. Yeah, no baby yet, Blake. 2 more months.
All right.
Let's see.
We wish Sean were here because Marco could better manage the camera, and I wouldn't have to
shut
talk
your
to
mouth.
you. I wouldn't have to talk to you the whole time.
I'm gonna do that.
Oh, you're gonna go rating. Here you go.
Yes.
Highest number you can get. 4. That's not good. You need an 8.
5, 6.
5, 6. The 6 is the lowest thing that gives you anything, and it only gives you
2.
this. It only gives you this tiny
9.
Tiny guy right here. So he's got a 7 plus 2. He can get something worth a 9. If you'd like to look at that for a bit, I'm gonna pick my next action.
Worth 9?
I'm gonna go ahead and spend 3 coins on my turn.
He didn't even like to answer my
pick
question.
up a
Where's the
whaling
value?
ship. Whaling ship. Oh, you want the value? Okay.
Yeah, I want to know what the value is.
All right, so like the swords, like there's an 8, there's a 10, there's a 10, 11, 13, 16, 12, there's a 9, 8, 9, 8, 8, 7.
All right.
Plus you've got an 8 here. So they all have like little numbers, an 8 here.
All right.
7, 10. Yeah, you've got a lot of good stuff you can pick from.
3.
And usually that's the longest time is doing the rating and deciding like what items you want to get. So looking at my go over here, you have an idea what I want to do.
Give me that thing right there.
This one here?
Yep.
All right. So he's got the little idol. Great.
Are you done yet?
No, I actually just bought a ship for money.
Oh, okay.
So now I can just take an action. So I'll use that to take, I'll go ahead and take a whaling action for the first time. Now I've got a whaling ship. I get to roll a d12. I've got 2 spears whaling ships, so I need a 3 or less. And I can use wood. So here we go. Wow.
That is the
1.
best
I roll a 1 on a
number
d12. So that doesn't even use anything because I've got an automatic ore on the ship. So it's automatically -1.
I hate you.
So I'm going to gain a little barrel.
I want to check to see if there's magnets under this table.
If there were, I wouldn't messed up all those rolls. You get
No,
that?
that's what he uses to throw you off.
And now I'm going to gain one of these, and I'm good. All right, here we go. We're doing well here.
All right.
Next turn's overseas trading is going to be amazing. What you got?
I'm looking.
He's looking. Oh, I did take a 3 action. I do get draw an occupation. I'm just accumulating occupations. So this one says whenever I receive one of these blue items into my supply, which I actually might get in a moment, I get a barrel. That's kind of neat. So here's the deal. I've got all these occupations that I'm building up that I'm not really using, but they're all, most of them though, are worth points. 2, 2, 3, 0, 2, 0. So what's cool about it is there is an action in the game board which lets you play between 1 and 2 occupations or between 1 to 4 occupations for 3 guys. So it's a great way to like dump 3 guys and get a bunch of points potentially. So something to consider as we move forward.
All right, I'm going to take this action.
Okay, so you get to take 1 from a board, right?
Give me the stone.
The stone, and what else do you want? And you get to upgrade something, right?
Yep.
Cool. Okay, so I've got 3 guys left. What's good with the 3 guys is I can go ahead and use the 3 for the sheep action to get 3, but I'm thinking I want to overseas trade now because I've got a pretty good diversity of items I can get. So in order to overseas trade, I'm going to at least leave 1 for overseas trade and let leave me with 2. I need to upgrade these into greens to be able to have them do the most I can. Which means I need to find something that lets me upgrade twice. And as you can see, there's nothing on the game board that lets me upgrade twice right now. So that isn't available for me to be able to do anymore. So let's go ahead and take the 3 then and do the big sheep action now. Which is going to get me...
That's right, Blake. I want naming rights, Sean. I'm owed naming rights. I've known you for way too long.
This is cool. An archer, every time I can immediately gain... I don't know what this means. Oh, I gain a bow immediately, and it's always -1 to my die rolls for archery. Exciting. Okay, anyway, so that was that. I'm going to go ahead and get my 3 wool, because I have 3 sheep at least. You can only get a max of 3, so even though I have 4 sheep technically, you only get 3 of these. So it's 1 of these and 2 over here. All right, that's all my actions, so I'm done.
All right.
So are we doing...
no, I still got 2 more actions.
Oh, you're still going. Whoops.
Yes, I actually slowed down on my actions.
You did. You were like, hey, you're moving slow. All right. Well, while he does that, I'm going to work on my income over here because that's kind of what you can do when you're waiting. So I know all these are about to become something really cool for me.
Pick up a card.
So now it's just a matter of putting down other resources.
Get the money.
That will help me later. So that's not bad. Right there. Not bad right there. 2 coins. Hope you guys are kind of following along what I'm doing here. I think I'm going to do that. These 2
If he
coins.
takes forever for these turns, please just write it in the comments and tell me. Because I'm not even going to... I'm tuning him out at this moment.
Tune me out. Please tune me out. All right, so as I'm trying to gain things over here.
Play this card. Get a money.
Okay, that covers that up just fine. Over here, if I want to cover that 5, I'm going to have to use a lot of things. Not ready to use that many resources yet. I'm about to turn all these into greens. So, yeah, I'm done. I'm actually done, so I can do my income now.
I'm almost done.
Sure. In fact, there might be a reason why I should start using this to get income. I'm going to wait till next turn to start burning my money to make money.
All right.
Done. All your actions done?
Yep.
Okay. You get the new first player?
Yes, I got the moose.
Income. I'm going to gain.
I'm going to
5
gain
plus
6.
5, so 10. And this is a 10. So, yay. Lots of points.
Breeding.
All right. 2 sheep. 1 becomes pregnant. The other one goes into back into my supply. That's breeding.
All right. Next is feasting.
Feasting. All right. Food. We're going to eat all this delicious stuff and prepare for one final round of harvesting, that will be the last harvest phase of the game coming up. We're getting close to the end.
Yep.
Starting to ramp up, though. I mean, it doesn't look like I'm going to fill my board, but I probably will by the end of the game. So
I am nowhere close to filling my board.
Well, I didn't look like I am either, but I think it's about to start. We'll see.
But I'm negating that with the things up here.
Okay, you are getting points from that.
All right.
All right, so we're ready to go.
All right, so
that's going to be bonuses now, right?
Bonuses,
so
yes.
My bonuses, I'll get a stone.
I'll get
a wood. I'll get a mead. This one I'll get a barrel. Where's a barrel? A barrel's right here, sorry. A barrel and a fish. Fish.
Fish right there.
Fish right here, yep. And that's it. I didn't end up finishing that to get that benefit, so, okay.
All right.
Great.
And now it is time for new mountain tile.
New mountain tile, great. So we're going to move the outside ones of each of these as they go away by, whatever method they go away by. We're going to put 2 coins out here again. 1, 2, 3. And can you get our workers back?
Yep. And Bryn, here's your workers.
Hey, look, you have access to wood again to use your superfish thing.
Shut up.
I'm not going to take it this time.
You shut your mouth.
You get to go first. There won't be any reason for you not to get it.
I'm not picking up that action this time.
Here we go. Back to the top. We get our next to last worker for round 6 of 7.
All right.
So great. Let's get our last harvest, okay? Final harvest.
Oh, yes.
We're going to get one of every vegetable this time. So it's interesting because you keep getting the old ones you got before, which I'll put out here if they can see my main board.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
1.
Yeah, your main board's up.
1. See, I'll have 1s on them, so I'll get all the 1s. Oops, that's a 1 as well. I get the 2. I get the 3. And now I get the giant 4. So lots of good vegetables this time. Exciting stuff. I'm going to start actually using them right now to fill up my board.
All right, while he's doing that and just talking to himself, it's my turn to go first.
Yeah, it's your turn to go first.
And I'm going to upgrade right here.
And I should have a mead somewhere.
No, you shouldn't.
Actually, did it fall on the ground? Or did I might have accidentally flipped it over. So this should be, I should have a mead up here. So
All right.
thinking last turn. Okay, so my people are going to be fed. That's good.
Yep.
Took care of that.
Yeah,
And you've
so
now
I've upgraded
upgraded
2
twice.
things once.
Hey, don't take my action. I'm kidding. You can do whatever you want. Whatever you want. So I'm going to go ahead and go to this one to upgrade 3 things, to trade 3 things. So this will become, these 2 will both become greens, and I think I'll turn this one into a red as well because it's a nice big tile. So this will become red. I'll just use this and turn this into a green. Does that make sense to keep this red here?
Right.
Okay, and that sheep, goodbye sheep, will become that green and this green. So there we go. That's what I got for the 3.
Right.
All right, I'm ready for a big overseas trading turn.
All right. Now it's my turn again.
Yep.
And I'm going to do this action right here.
Oh, good hunting.
Yep.
He's 1 ahead of me. This is what I wanted to do too. So I rolled a 7, a 4. That could help? No? You got enough bows? No?
I have 1 bow.
Okay, need to get lower than that. And a 3. Hey, you got to use the wood.
I do.
Okay, he's using 2 wood and a bow, and he gets to have the cool stuff.
And here's the thing. I actually got a card. Deer Stalker succeeded hunting game. 2 coin for bones.
Oh, neat. So he can pay 2 coins and pick up some of these. Where are the bones? Oh, right here. There you go. Great. And you also get the benefits of that, which is another one of these, right?
Yep.
And a pelt.
And a fur.
Fur, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have almost every item here that's green to overseas trade. The 2 that I don't have are this pelt here and one of these large cloaks. So I don't think that I can get that this turn. So and I know overseas trading is not even available to him because he doesn't have a NAR. So now it's a matter of just me maximizing what I've got. So this is all about turning to blue, which is going to fill up a bunch of things on my tile. So let's just get more resources. So let's go. Let's take these and let's go. Whaling is kind of nice, and I've still got a lot of wood. So 3 on the whaling space. So I'll get to draw another occupation card, which at this point it says cutter operator. Next time you acquire a NAR, per NAR I own, which I own 1, I get to get a fish and a coin. That actually might be useful soon. So I'll put that there. And let's do the next thing. So that's that. What am I doing? Oh, I'm whaling. So here we go. Gotta get a low number. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 2 wood. So there we go. That was a successful whaling attempt. Those are gone. This wood is gone, and I get everything from whaling, which is going to be a little barrel, another fish, fish bones, right? And another one of those. So where's the fish bones at? Right here? Cool. Fish bones. Okay, great.
All right, now I'm going to do this big action right there.
Oh, wow. So this action down here is cool. You haven't seen it yet. You can take 2 items from 4 different tiles, or you can upgrade 3 things twice. So which one? It's an or, though. He has to choose.
I'm going to do the 3 things twice.
All right.
So this will become blue.
Sounds good.
This will become blue.
Okay. While he does that, I'm going to take this and craft. So I'm going to turn these flaxen into one of these long blue pieces again. I mean, long green pieces, and that's my turn.
Green.
Cool.
All right.
And it's back to you.
All right.
Got my overseas action trading right there, ready for something. I need to turn one of these sheep into need to upgrade a sheep. Yep, that's exactly what I need to do. And upgrade one of these. So that upgrading and this upgrading will get me even more stuff.
I'm going to take this action, take these two.
Okay. Great. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys left. 1 for overseas trading. I've got 4 left. I really need to get, buying a cow and then upgrading would be great. There's a spot here for 4 upgrades. That would be a large number of upgrades at once. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That lets me play one of my cards. I know which card I want to play. So here goes 4. Right here, no, not 4. It only takes 3. Sorry, 1, 2, 3. That lets me upgrade 4 things. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All these are going to be red, so I'm actually losing 2 sheep. But they're going to become these green guys here. I'll lose both of these, but they're going to become these green cloaks, which is great for me too. Okay, great, and lets me draw a card again. So another card.
All right.
Longship builder. You may buy a longship. You receive a discount if you have more than 1 Gnar. But it's kind of nice, so I can get a longship at the end of the game if I want to with it. Okay. You need to use some of these. You see some of these occupation cards. I keep accumulating them. So there is a card in the A deck. Now, as with most UA Rosenberg games, the game is different because the occupations are different each game. Like the decks are different. And while maybe the occupations don't play as big of a role in this game as they do in, say, Agricola, they still give a lot of flavor to the game. But in the A deck, the deck you start the game with, there's an occupation called Tutor, which lets you at any time pay 1 silver and play an occupation. Let me tell you how powerful that is. So I can continue to, like all these occupations I can technically play immediately, just as long as I have enough silver, and I do. And they're almost always worth more than 1 point. So it's kind of a gimme. It's just such a strong card. We don't even play with the A deck. We're actually playing with the B deck right now. So B deck, I'm bringing my B game. This is good. Marco's like really thinking about what he has to do. This is a challenging move for him. Great. So for me, I'm just going to go ahead and set up what I've got going for overseas trading. I'm going to get it set up. 1 of each thing. Lots of trading happening soon.
I'm going to pillage.
Okay.
Give me the blue die.
Blue die for you. He's pillaging. Do you have any, or you want to put
I don't need 11.
Okay. 11 and no swords. You can use the stones to get to 13.
What is that 13?
Well, 13 would be, this big one's a 12. 13 is the shield, and 12 is the chalice. Just going for max space, those are the biggest spaces.
I'm going to get the chalice.
Chalice? Chalice is nice.
So, 12.
Yeah, these interesting shapes of this board here, of this gray board, are really cool because they have little divots and stuff that really help you gain the bonuses. So,
all right, your turn.
Pretty cool. All right, great. So clearly one of mine's overseas trading. Can I get anything else? You have taken the only way I can get that, which is, I think, the only green item I can use. Yup. So let's do... I know I'm going to overseas trade. It's just I have 1 more guy. Do I want to do a fish? I can't raid. I can play a card and gain a coin. So that'll cost me the stone. Stone's out of the game. I'll play a card. I'm actually going to play that one that lets me buy ships for a discount. That's kind of neat.
Sorry if Brendan's being a little boring right now. He's trying to maximize on all of his stuff.
Long ship builder. I'll play that. It gives me a coin when I take this action. It's great. And I get to buy a long ship, and I get a discount of 2 coins off of it because I have a Gnar. So instead of costing me, what does it normally cost? 8? It costs me 6. So there's 5. I'll get back. And there's 10. I'll get back 4. And I'll need can you hand me a long ship?
There you go.
And that's a one-time card. It's done now, so it's over. And I've got a long ship now. Okay, your turn.
Yep.
Well, this action is going to be pretty easy. It's going to be the overseas trading action.
Yep, I know it is.
So I'm going to go ahead and take it so I can start planning my board. Does it make sense? Unless you're going to take it. You can't take it. You don't have a Gnar. I'll just go ahead and do it just to get that out of the way. These will all flip to blue. And it costs me a point. I'm done. And so I'm going to work on my boards while he takes his turn. So Let's see, putting things down.
All right, so guys, I think Bryn is making a mistake. Who wants to call him out on it?
Taking a mistake on what?
I think he's making a mistake.
What's the mistake?
The action he just did is extremely powerful for 1 coin.
Yeah.
I think it's 1 coin per.
Nope, it's 1 coin total.
Look it up.
1 coin with any number of.
Look it up.
But they have to be different. That's the trick.
Look it
Well,
up.
they can look up. Take your turn.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's what the overseas trading action does. Lets you turn a bunch of things into stuff.
All right, I'm gonna do this, and I will get.
Let's see here. I have this here.
Yeah, no, sorry, 1 and 1. So I'll get this one, and an upgrade, so that'll turn into green. No, blue. So there we go. All right.
Okay, I need to come up with 2 more coins.
Do you have any more actions?
No, I'm done. You
Right.
were last. You're going to be first player
Right.
again. I'm going to put some coins down.
I need the
Finish
fish
those
to feed
bonuses.
people. All right.
Oh, before I can play that, I actually need to put down some more coins. So I've got
Let me bring this up.
to do that. I've got to put down 1, 2, 3, 4 coins. So I've got a 10. Let's get 2 4s and a 2. I'm right now just finishing up my stuff. So these coins have got to be split up into a 2 and 2 1s, just so I can finish filling out my board here. So Iceland is done. As you can see, I've completely filled it up. I've got some extra money. I don't think I have enough though to do this all the way across. So I'll just be able to cover up the 5. So I just placed this coin this turn. I'm going to put that there instead, and leave that there for future rounds. So
All right.
okay.
So
well,
now
I am finished my stuff.
I still keep the basing because I was last.
Sure.
Income.
I've got mine
I
ready.
get 9.
I get 14. So 10
4,
and 4.
7, 8,
Great.
9. All right.
Okay.
Now breeding.
Breeding. All right. So I've got a pregnant sheep. It becomes a sheep, which I no longer have 2 sheep anymore. So it becomes a second sheep. Sorry. There, I have 2 sheep now. All right. That's
All
breeding.
right. Then
Feasting.
feast.
Let's eat all this delicious food. I stole that delicious food line from Absurdist Productions, who made Churrascaria, which was on Kickstarter recently. And every time I play with a guy, he always talked about you were eating all this delicious food. It is a game based on a Brazilian barbecue steakhouse, though. So okay.
All right. With this money, I'm gonna see if I can do some things.
Okay, cool. We're gonna go to the bonus phase, and he's gonna use him as money probably to try to acquire some bonuses. I'm gonna go through my bonuses real quick. Can they see my board?
Yes, they
Let's see my
can.
board in the primary. So here we go. Once again, mead, a stone, and I'm gonna get. You know what? I can spend these 2. I'll spend those 2 to get another. To get that as well. So that's basically it's 1 of each resource that's on your board. See? I'll get a blue rune stone, and I'll get 1 mead. It's food. Great. And then over here on this board, I'll get a fish. Boy, I love that fish every turn. I'll get a green barrel, fish in a barrel, and this one actually gets me both a stone and an ore. So I've got quite a bit of stone and ore to work with. And I'm going to work on the mountain tiles right now.
All right.
So that mountain tile clears.
So,
We lose 1 of each. Oh, this is an interesting situation that happens, and I can show it to him if you want to show it to him.
Yep.
On the main board. So now I've told you there's some little nuance to the rules, but we always remove 1 from the far right, okay, from the far left of each tile. If you ever have a situation, this is one of the rules in the game, where there's only money left on a tile, that tile is immediately discarded completely. So that tile's out of the game, even though there was something left on it. We don't do it. So we're going to draw the final tile in the game, and we're going to fill it up.
Can I get a? Oh, there they are.
You got them? Weapons? Okay. Oh, you're getting the weapon return?
Yep.
Neat. That's such a cool board. I wish I had gotten the other ones.
Finally got it, and
Oh, you know what we never did?
Hmm.
We never did the island phase last time. So let me show you what would have happened. We would have flipped Greenland. Okay, Greenland would have flipped. 2 more coins over here. This would have been a 4, and that would have been a 6 down there on Bear. Okay.
Right.
So yeah. So now, Terra del Fuego, the newest island, is worth the most it can ever be worth. Well, technically it was last turn we picked it up. So, all right. Did you do everything that you were going to do? I'm going to get my guys back.
No, I need a mead.
Okay. I'm going to get all my guys back because that is the final thing we're doing here. Okay, great. And that takes us to the very beginning of the final round of the game, round 7. Now, each game board, this game board here, has 2 sides. It has a beginner side and advanced side. Now, we've been playing on the advanced side with 6 actions, with 6 rounds. In the beginner side, there's only, we're playing on the advanced side with 7 rounds. There is an other side of a beginner side with 6 rounds. 6 rounds, you wouldn't believe, it actually makes it a lot harder to fill up your spaces, you know, that extra
It's already hard enough.
It is challenging, right? All right, great, but that's what it's meant for. It's meant for an easier game.
All right, so it's my turn.
Okay, great. So we're going to start at the top. We're going to do this right. We get a Viking. Everyone has their last Viking.
Yep.
Next thing, harvest. No harvest. Next thing, islands. No island actions. Great.
Yep.
Next thing, draw a weapon. Here's a weapon for you. What'd you get?
Sword.
Weapon for me, I got another bow. Boy, am I loaded on bows? I am loaded on bows. Time to go hunting. Okay, next action is, here we go. Actions for spaces, and you're first, right?
Yep.
So here's our final round of actions. My goal is a big overseas trading action with that.
You know what? I'm going to put these on the boat.
I've got to feed my people, so let me go ahead and see what I can do as far as feeding them really quick.
And I'm going to do the pillaging action.
I'm kind of setting up for my feeding here.
No one likes a 4. 6, 7, 8, 9.
You can do better than 6.
That's not. Stop your manipulating.
You did.
And I got a 6.
Oh, you get 6. Oh, sorry, I read that.
So 9.
Okay.
All right.
That's pretty good. I'd say that's pretty good.
Yeah, I can get that if you can hand me that.
Which one? This one here?
Yep.
All right, great. 9 for you.
Thank you.
Okay, so now I wouldn't mind getting in on that pillaging, so that sounds pretty fun. I'm going to go ahead and take the first action here. Lets me immigrate. So I'm going to spend, we're on round 7, so I'm going to spend 7 coins. So here's 8. I'll get 1 back. And this big ship I just bought becomes an immigration ship, which goes here, actually. Making that no longer need to be at. Okay.
Yes, Ray, we're talking about the extra island, the mini expansion.
Yep, it's right here. Terra del Fuego is one of them, and he's actually got Orkney, the backside of one of the other new islands in the game. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, Terra del Fuego has a nice income track. You can actually gain a pelt a turn. You can gain a, what is that? Oh, it's one of the long meats every turn. You can also gain one of these wools every turn, which is really nice, actually.
All right, I'm doing upgrade.
Okay, cool.
So I get a green.
Okay.
And this upgrades to that.
Great.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to take 3 action spaces to go here to play 4 cards. Now, I get to draw a card first before I do that, and that's pretty good. That's an interesting action. So now I can play up to 4. So really I'm going for the ones that give me the most points at this point. So are we looking at my board?
Yes, we are now looking at your board. So
I'm going to play this etiquette teacher, which says if you play at least 1 occupation, you get peas. I don't really care about the peas, but they're there. That's just 3 points to me at this point. Cutter operator for 2, fur merchant for 2, and I get to play 1 more. I'm not going to go raiding, but you know it could be useful. I'm going to take it. So in case I do go raiding, oh, I need the ship I just got rid of, so that doesn't make sense. And finally, this one here is worth 2. If I ever acquire a, whatever it's called, a fish, through a Viking action, I get a coin in a barrel. I get to spend a coin for a barrel. Okay, so I just played these 4 cards. I don't really actually care that much what they are. They're just a bunch of points to me, so I'm just going to put them over here. Okay?
All right.
Yep, your turn.
All right. I'm going to take this action.
All right, he's upgrading 3 things.
So red.
I'm going hunting myself. I've got all those bows, mine as well. 5, a 3, and here's 1, 2, 3 bows. So that gives me all the hunting stuff, which is going to be one of these meats, and it's going to be one of the pelts. All done. Your turn.
All right. I'm then going to use 3 to upgrade 4.
Okay. Nice. Boy, you're just trading up like crazy, aren't you? Okay.
This.
Great. I'm going to spend a single guy to take this action for 2 wood, which that 2 wood gets me my first shed. So sheds, They're worth 8 points. They're worth 8 points, but there's 6 spaces on them with negative points. But if you put wood at the end of the game and or at the end of the game, they save you. They actually earn you points at the end. So that's going to put that right there. And if I have some extra wood and ore, I can use it at the end to make more points, and it's back to you.
Yep.
So I'm just like grabbing all these like point maker things at the end of the game to see what I can do. So, what you got?
You know what? I'm gonna use this to turn in this into a money and a ruin.
Okay.
All right.
My turn. Is there anything up there with two upgrades? Just this one with 3, right?
Yep.
That's not good.
I've been taking all the upgrades.
Yeah, I see that. I see that for sure. Okay, I'm gonna spend a guy here. It's gonna let me take one thing. I will take a stone. It's pretty easy, right? And then I will upgrade one thing. I will turn this into a green, this into a green, and that's it for that. Your turn. Where does this go? Sorry, the spaces these things can go. Okay, green. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to do this action to draw a card and get a money.
Great. All right, I'm going to spend this, spend a money, and do overseas trading. So these will all be blues. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are all blues now. Okay, back to you. I got 3 Viking workers left. I have enough to put down these here and those there. But I'm going to see if there's something better that comes up first.
Let's see, what do we have in rating? 8, 8, 7, and 8.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
No rating again? Oh, just the rating? Here you go.
Yeah.
Die for you. A 6. That's a
7,
start.
8.
7, 8. Okay.
Right.
Something good. That's an 8. It's
yeah,
long.
get that long.
All right, great. Okay, 8 for him.
So that covers up that.
Yep.
Spot.
All right, we're getting close to the end here. I'm just got to see how I can maximize on actions. I think I'll just go ahead and take this. That'll get me an ore and 2 coins, so why not, right? 2 coins is points, and an ore is technically a point because I can put it on my board. It's back to you.
Yep. All right. I'm ready. I have enough to feed the people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm going to use this.
To make another 3 points. Yep, that's not a bad action.
Not?
Yep. Why not? Not a bad
that's
action. That's it for you?
Yep, and that's it for you.
No, I've still got 2 guys left.
Oh, you do?
Yep. I'm debating on getting another island because I really think that I can make use of it right now. So this is 15. Right now, this is a 15-point island. That's the Fuego Island, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have to have the biggest ship. I can't get that one. Actually, I have to get the biggest ship for both. Actually, all 3 of these I need the biggest ship for, and I already turned it in for whatever it's called, immigration. So all I could technically get is Shetland is Bear Island, which is here, Shetland or Faroe. Well, Bear Island is worth 12 points, but it's got 22 negative spaces on it. Can I make use of that right now? This late in the game. Now it's got 6 money on it, which incentivizes it when you get 18 points. Which means if I at least cover 4 spaces, I've made my points back. I don't think it's worth spending 2 guys on. Okay, so I've got 2 guys left. Let's just see if there's something else I can do. Oh, I can play some more cards. Right there we go. So cards playing. There's a 2-point card, and there's a 1-point card, which will get me a meat. I don't know why I need a meat, but I have one now. So, okay. That's it. Now we go on to the next phase. Now, in this game, at the last round, they have a rule. You don't actually collect income your final round because you'll do income, animal breeding, feasting, and then the game ends. There is no bonus phase. You don't get any more bonus items. There's no reason for them. And there's no more mountain tiles that come out or anything like that. So really what we're doing now is just trying to maximize our final income, and then we'll score points.
Yep.
So
all right.
I'm going to go ahead and put these guys in here to breed. Might as well get a point out of that. Okay, and here we go. So these 3 go here. Can we look at my main board here? We are?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So you're seeing that I'm just building up my stuff right now to get as many points as I can. This island is done, so I'm done with that island. So now it's just like finishing up, filling up with space, with things. So I've got a lot of blue and a lot of green, so I'm going to use the green first because it's the least useful to me. In other words, I can't put greens next to each other. Let's do that. And as far as other greens go, let's see here. I can put that green there. This there. More greens. Can't put that there. This can go there. Okay. Getting close to finishing all the spaces I can do. Okay, so you see I've almost filled up. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 more spots to fill. They're all -1 money for each one. But remember, coins are 1 point each, right? So it's 11 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I've got 12 coins. I'm going to go ahead and turn all 12 coins in, get one back, and basically say all these are filled. I can do that with some 2s, or just for the sake of understanding, these are all filled. It's a little easier than just putting.
Right.
Here, I'll just put we used to actually end up using these because sometimes we run out of singles. But these are all money basically that I put out here, just for the sake of finishing it up. So, okay. Board is complete. All right. So we do income, but we skip income. We don't collect the money yet. That's for the final round. That's for scoring. And then we do animal breeding, which means since I have 2 sheep left, one will become pregnant. And that's it. Oh, we got to feed. So let's go and eat.
Yep.
You have a nice, easy time eating. I'll eat these. Now, the extra resource tiles you have at the end of the game, unless they have points printed on them, like this one, not worth anything. Like, that wouldn't matter. So that's it. So let's score. And I actually, this time, have the scoring pad ready.
Of course he does.
I wish we
Of
had...
course. This is why we always lose you guys at the end, is because he goes off and gets the scoring pad.
Get a scoring pad.
And he's like, oh, I need the calculator. And then
all right. So we've destroyed all the scoring pads of this game, actually. So let me tell you something really cool. Actually, am I talking to them yet? No. So every week in Dallas, Texas, we do Dallas Games Marathon, which is a place where you can go and meet in Plano. It's got a membership fee to join, but it's like $20 a month, and you get to play every week, and they have a marathon every three weeks. So I know I didn't give you many details, but I'll put some details in the comments afterwards. But this game gets played so often there, because I lend my game to the library, that they've run out of score pads. We actually have to print new ones. These are not what it comes with. These are actually ones we printed. So I'm going to go ahead and start filling out our scores. In this game, you score all your positive points first, then you score all your negative points, and then the difference is what you make. So here we go. And I'll mention again, Dallas Games Marathon, or DGM, DallasGamesMarathon.com. You'll get all the information you need. It might be .org. I can't remember. Dallas Games Marathon. Very cool place. All right, so Bryn and Marco. First of all, we score for ships. Ships are not immigrations. They're just ships that you control. I have 8 points in ships.
And I have 8, 9, 10, 11.
You have 11 points in ships, okay? Immigrations now. We count immigrations. I have 21.
Let's see, that's 36.
Ooh, you get a lot.
36, 57.
57 points in immigration as well. So exploration boards are your islands. I have 16 for mine.
12.
12 for yours. Sheds and houses. I have 1 shed. I get 8 points for mine.
Who wants to build sheds?
You can make a lot of points on sheds and houses. Okay, 0 for you.
God.
Sheep and cattle. I have 5 points in sheep and cattle.
0.
0. Occupations. Okay.
Wait. We don't do the breeding phase, do we?
Yeah, we do the breeding phase.
No, I'm sorry. The bonus phase.
No, we don't do the bonus phase, yeah.
All right.
So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I have 14 points in occupations. What do you got?
And I have 2.
2, okay. Silver. That's actually silver left over in the game. I got 1.
None.
Oh, you used all of them. Wow, okay.
Yep.
Final income. Now, this is where we actually take our final income. So I'll gain 8 plus 18, so I'll gain 26.
12 plus 4, so 16.
16. English crown, I have 0 for the English crown. And you didn't get the English crown either, right? So 0.
Yep.
So our positive subtotal we'll do in a second. Let's do negatives. So how many negatives on the home board? I have 0 negatives showing on my home board. Remember, these aren't negatives.
20.
Okay, negative 20 for Marco's home board. Negatives for your exploration boards. Again, I have 0 for that. Negatives from your exploration board, 0. Okay. Sheds and house penalties, 0 for me, 0 for you. And thing penalty is 0 and 0. So Marco's net negative is 0. Mine is net negatives are 20. Mine's 0. Now let me add these together really quick.
It's a shame.
So let's see here. I've got 16. You talk to him. I'll do some math.
The thing is that I have these 2 pieces, but unfortunately they can't cover anything because they go over the board. See this? This is a shame. It's a shame. I shamed myself here because I can't place these down.
I didn't even break 100 points, so we'll see how well I did this game. That's not usually a winning score.
You scored more than me.
I might have scored more than you, but I didn't score well. I'm kidding. All right, let's see here. I'm kidding. I play with the guys at the GM. Consistently score like 120s. I don't know how they do it. They're fantastic. Anyway, let's see your score. Here we go. So we got 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 plus 6 is 18, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, that's pretty close. So,
really?
It's 98, 99, and then the 20.
Oh my god!
Yeah. So wait. So final score is I scored 99 positive points. He scored 98 positive points. But then his home board, which wasn't full, lost him 20. So it was 99 to 78, finishing the game.
It was just mixed calculations.
Oh, was that all it was?
I can't put these down because they go over.
Oh no! Wow. Oh my god, you're right. So part of this game is puzzly, and you got to kind of.
Oh wait, give me 2 more points.
2 more points, okay.
But still,
you know what? So did you have enough to actually finish everything? Look at that. Yeah, actually, you did.
Yeah, I got.
You know what? I think you won.
I know. I screwed myself on this.
I think you won. I have a lot more experience playing quickly, and unfortunately, I had to play a lot faster. No, that was a winning. That was a winning combo right there. Like that would have been a 110 point game if you just. Seriously, if he just redid a little bit of his map, and you can't see his map, but if he just redid a little bit of his map, he would have scored 110 points. That would have been fantastic.
It was my puzzle skills are nowhere near what Bryn's are.
You know what? Good game though.
It was that
was really good. I wow, killer.
Yeah,
that's awesome. And I think it's the best you've ever played that I've seen. That's great. So that early immigration strategy worked great for you.
Yeah, early immigration really works in a game like this.
What'd you think of the new board?
Honestly, I don't like islands.
You don't like islands? It's just like where the game is.
I know it's where the game is, but think of it this way: is that you have all of these little spots that you have to fill with money because it's all cattywampus, whatever. Wampus?
Cattywampus?
Yeah, just all over the place.
Well, that's that island. Some of the islands, like Newfoundland, right here, are just big blocks of points.
Yeah.
Right?
So if you take a look here.
Yeah.
Here, let me.
It's got some.
No, it's not anymore.
Okay.
Boom! Look at that. All right. If you see a board like that.
Big blocks of points. Of course, it's the final board of the game.
Right. Or if you look at the opposite side, Greenland.
Yeah.
You know.
Big blocks of points, easier to play, but these earlier islands, like what he got, have a lot of little tiny spaces meant for small tiles. So,
right.
So big tiles are great for the end of the game. Small tiles are great early in the game, which makes sense.
So anyway, well, thank you for joining us here. It's Your Turn, and Yui Rosenberg series.
That's right. Nussfjord.
Yeah.
Nussfjord, which is his new game about fishing, next week.
Right, and then we'll have 2 other Yui Rosenberg games after that.
That's right.
Stay tuned for those, because remember, during one of those episodes, we will be giving away a Yui Rosenberg game.
Woo, that's really good.
I know, right?
I didn't even know that.
Anyway, well, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.